Here we are, chapter 3 of this here copy of a whatever it is, sterling whatever. Anyhow, well, today's procedure was to sand over the body and neck with 600 grit sandpaper to get rid of all of the highlights and the sort of places where the finish had pulled a little bit, and I was left with little shiny areas and little high spots. So that took maybe half an hour of sanding, and then I was back to putting on another layer of tung oil. You can see I've decided I've put a bit of tung oil there into the route for the Floyd Rose, as that's going to be exposed to the air. I've also put a little bit into the surfaces of the rear control cavity that are more exposed to, or more likely to have, be opened up and looked at a little bit. I'm getting a little bit less confident in how this finish is going to turn out, because it seems to be not drying out as well and as evenly as I'm hoping it will. I'm getting little shiny areas that I'm having to sand back, and then once you've sanded it back, well, you're almost back to where you were on the previous finish coat. So maybe this thing ain't going to be ready for assembly on Saturday, which is 2 days away. I was originally thinking tomorrow's coat would be the last coat, but that's looking increasingly unlikely. I'm also wondering whether adding some tint to this would have been a better idea, but it's a little bit late for that now, and I haven't got anything to tint it with anyhow. And yeah, well, it's understandable also why people prefer building with non-maple fingerboards, because finishing a fingerboard is a pain, especially trying to sand down between the frets. That is very, very awkward. And as you can see there's a few marks on that fingerboard that only appeared after the finish process has started. There's a few little dark areas there. They're actually where the grain, which before finishing felt perfectly smooth and flat, it looked fully prepped. As soon as the finishes got on there, the grain's risen up. And I've tried to sand that back, but I think that's just going to remain a, how should we call it, a feature of the instrument. Anyhow, that was chapter 3. Let's see what I can screw up tomorrow. Cheers, people.